Just to take this to sports, like our job is to see around the corner for the future of innovation. We do a lot of work with this company called Populous. They build the majority of sports stadiums in the world. And that's one of our jobs, right? Is future-proof it, right? What the future generations want in it. And so we get to have all these fun futuristic conversations, one of which is around cars. And you talked about transportation being a top contributor to pollution. Tell me how legitimate this is or isn't. We talk about self-driving cars and is it more efficient, and parking. There's something like 8 times as many parking lots as cars in the United States. Yeah. And it's a major issue, congestion, egress, regress. Do you think we're silly in thinking that the world's, there's going to be actual drones dropping people off, and that there's going to be, sort of the demand, the load here on traffic will be massively relieved by autonomous vehicles and ride share? I assume you study these things if we're talking about the number one problem is transportation. What can we learn in the building of stadiums and people going 81, 41 or whatever times per year to go see their favorite team?
Yeah. Awesome question. Well, I really hope that we soon can access stadiums by drone, because wouldn't that be awesome? You just drop off in your little bat suit and fly down to your seat, no lines.
In theory, there's a few things I'm concerned about.
For sure. Oh, no, me as well. And again, talking to my traffic engineering friends, the jury is still out on whether autonomous vehicles are going to solve this problem. In some ways, they can actually increase the number of vehicle miles traveled. So they are not a panacea or silver bullet. But there's good research on mass transit. And one of the really positive effects that stadiums can have is they create a transportation node. Right? You got a lot of people that are going to the same place and leaving the same place at about the same time. And that is a perfect recipe for having a rapid transit bus line or a light rail line. And we've seen that here in Utah, where the college stadium has become one of the most popular transit lines. So in general, using mass transit is much more efficient than individual vehicles. If you've got to use individual vehicles, then use an EV. And what we could do is have those parking spaces be multi-purpose. So cover them with solar canopies, for example. If you look at the footprint of parking spaces, it actually gets us about half of the way there for the amount of energy we need to completely decarbonize our economy if we covered all parking spaces with solar panels. And then, you use them when you need, the 40 times a year, or however often you're going to sports events. But every single day, it's putting clean energy onto the grid. And so there's huge opportunities for this. And what I love about that, too, is every time somebody visits the stadium, they're going to look up and it's raining and they're protected from the rain or from the sun. Mm-hmm. So they're getting a personal benefit. It's increasing the love factor toward renewable energy. And that's actually really important. We live in an epoch that's called the Anthropocene. Humans have come to dominate the Earth system, and the beliefs of individual people, of all almost 8 billion people sharing the planet, really matter. And so when we can have these win-wins, right? It's a win for the environment. It's also a win for us. We're going to be more comfortable. We'll have a higher performing car. There's not going to be as much of a wait to get into the stadium. Those are the kinds of opportunities that I think that the sports world is really well positioned to lead out on. The air pollution stuff can seem really abstract and like statistical, but there is a famous air pollution sports study that looked at batting averages during periods of clean air and dirty air. And air pollution, of course, has these long-term health effects, but it also affects the level of our neurological and physiological performance. So you see these big performance boosts when you're living in a clean or experiencing a clean environment, even over the short term. And that, for me, reminds me that there's no separation between people and the environment. We live in the environment. We depend on the environment for every single breath, gulp of water, and bite of food that we eat throughout our whole lives. And so we've really got to take care of the Earth system, sure, for the benefit of other animals and biodiversity, but really front and center, it's a question of taking care of people.